lovely to have you.
My hair is in that awkward stage between birth and death.
I'm right there with you, Marty. We've both had a kind of interesting...
Oh.
What's wrong with us?
Everything is wrong with us. And I had a really fun research week. And so I'm going to inflict it on all of us in the gathering room.
I love it when you inflict.
I want to inflict such research upon y'all.
Oh.
So,
You want me out?
maybe I should just go for it.
Go for it.
All right,
I'll be off
Badger.
later.
Oh,
Badger
bye.
is going to forage and to get
okay.
special questions
Not
from
allowed.
you, for us, for me, and us.
Okay. So here's a lesson on lessons. This is what we've been learning. The info dominants do not fuck up conversations. And that was a big fuck up of a conversation. So the info dominants are being responsible for the consume and blast. The energy dominants are responsible for the goof time. Like, info dominants don't do that. They're like, I read some information. I'm here to share it. Like, please stop goofing around. We're here to share information, so let's just share information.
100%. And I can't even stop laughing. Like, I'm causing problems right now. That's you and me.
There you go. That's what I was getting at. That's why these two are a little triggering for us. There's you and me. And then, like we've been saying, like, the math is there's not a doubt why they are a good match, because they follow the patterns we're talking about with, like, relationships of opposites.
And for me, the scariest thing was when I was 25 and I was now getting my doctorate, so my third Harvard degree. And I got pregnant for the second time I was married. And my son was prenatally diagnosed with Down syndrome. The fear was like nothing I've ever experienced. And I just walked around Harvard and I looked at the professors, I looked at the students, and they all looked really pinched and anxious. And I thought, geez, this is my third. I kept thinking, if I get another Harvard degree, I shall be happy. And it never worked. I was getting more and more tense. And then I thought, okay, is it possible for a person with Down syndrome to be happy? And everything I knew said yes. So I thought, okay, Emerson said beauty is its own excuse for being. Joy is the felt equivalent of beauty. Maybe joy is its own excuse for being. And if that's the case, then anyone who can feel joy belongs here as much as anybody else in the world. The fear I went through for the next several months as I waited, and they said there was a 40% chance he would die at birth and all these things. It would ruin my older daughter's life. He would ruin my marriage, everything. I've never experienced fear like that. And it finally pushed me to a point where I broke. I went through the door and I let myself feel all the fear. And it was just this, it was exactly the way Dante describes going to hell, just screams and noise and, wailing of it, like all silent, of course, in my own head. And then in the middle of that whole cacophony, I heard this one whisper that said, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure that's true?" And I was like, "I don't know what's true." And it said, "You may want to think about what's true."
You may want to think about what's true. So this is a common message we're hearing. We'll get to the type stuff in a second, but it's like the breaking point of going through the hell to force the transformation of, I got to look at my programs and question them.
Right.
And a lot of Byron Katie talk.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm going through a life crisis, so I'm going to get to work on this, is this true, think through kind of stuff. Like a lot of like block building, block stacking that's happening internally. And it's not that we don't do that as FIs or TEs, but it's just like they're logicking their way through their emotional problems. Drinking time. Drinking time.
I'm back.
Hello, Badger. Hi there. Notorious Badger.
Here I am, notorious, and here.
Yeah.
Both at once. No flies on me. Okay, so the first thing that has come up is, could you say a bit more about...
She's wiggling. She's wiggling over there.
So this is what Blast feels like. Huh.
Hi.
Okay, I'm here. That's all I really wanted to say. Here.
And then someone's getting wiggly.
Yeah, look
just
at this
like
little...
me right now. I'm getting real fucking wiggly.
Because I'm going too slow. And that's what will happen is like, hi, pause. I'm here. Pause. Like, just go.
Okay, so the first thing that has come up is, could you say a bit more about spiritual beings having a human experience?
Yes. I think if you've ever had the biggest traumas that most people experience in their lives are about the transition between alive and not alive. That is what happens at birth and what happens at death.
You said that about
at
your
those
hair.
Points, what happens surrounding birth and what happens surrounding death, they're both
general.
very deep. And they're both very riddled with the propensity for trauma.
Oh my God. So to give you a summary, it's somewhere between life and death.
That's quite a jump.
That's going to be where your problem is. I've narrowed it down to those 2 points. Yep.
That is some pretty intense narrowing down.
Well, that's nice and simple.
Yeah, the problem was that I was raised in a culture that didn't fit my true nature at all. I was raised in the most Mormon of Mormon places you can imagine, by a very, very Mormon family. And it just didn't really work for me. But I tried to make it work for a very long time. Well, 18 years. No, I kept trying after a while. I grew up also, but I was really trying up to that time. And it just wasn't working for me. At 17, I went off to Harvard, which is about as different from Mormon Central as you can get without going to Pluto. So now I was in this complete sort of atheist materialist culture. And my only really strong imperative as a personality is just please everyone, right? So I sort of adapted to my culture at Harvard and just sort of fit in there. And then I would go back to Utah and try to fit in there. And these two selves were so different that I lost my sense of what was true. So I just got incredibly depressed, like constant weeping, couldn't function at all, almost catatonic at a certain point. And I thought, I've got to figure out what's wrong with me.
A little thing you can grab is culture and truth. I got the culture pulling me in one direction. Culture. What the hell's culture?
Right.
FE, what everybody else is caring about. And I have my personal truth. I'm born and raised kind of Mormon, and I kind of going with that culture and that truth. And now I'm finding that the scientific culture and their truth is going another way, and now my culture and truth are all split. And that's a big fucking deal, and I'm crashing. And I'm using the words culture and truth, which is a consistent thing we see with the FETI coin. Because culture and truth, not the FITEs, don't say that, but oftentimes they really don't.
Right.
And even when they do, they're not like, oh my God, let me stop my life because my personal truth isn't aligning with the culture.
Right.
The fuck does an FIT care give a shit about that?
Right.
So it's like with this particular column, really fast, you're seeing what? You're seeing sleep because it's the same old story about me, right? Let me just do these one at a time. So you get.
Let me write all these.
You get a power move of sleep. The same old story about me. You're like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that just drops.
That gives you two human needs.
That if you can get an animal, a savior animal like that, you just eliminated 3/4 of the board.
Right.
So playing it safe of moving a pawn, not Tony Robbins. You eliminate 1 out of 5/12. You're chipping away. So many times when we're typing clients, I've got to go to the pawn game of like, God, you're not my mom. 1 pawn. You're not Tony Robbins, 2 pawns.
Right, and if you did energy dominant next, which by the way, if you got, and even if you got energy dominant first, that one can knock it down very fast.
Right.
Why?
So energy dominant / extroverted.
Yeah, extroverted. Because
Yeah.
you're now asking if this is energy dominant. It's pretty extreme. And same thing with info dominant. That's very extreme. You either play last or sleep last. That's a pretty extreme difference. So is this somebody that is talking off the charts?
Right.
Or is this somebody that refuses to share their information to the point where they're causing communication
In 2
problems?
moves, you narrow them down to a sleep last play.
Right.
Because only a sleep last play is DI, selfish, controlling, save or sleep, energy dominant, and high energy. There's only one column that does that.
Right. I know. And then, of course, you can go here next, which is like observer. This is not somebody that is struggling with the judgment fears.
Yeah.
And so quickly you have it down, just all these blue guys. Like, we're just chopping down the board. Now, of course, you have to cross-check all of these.
Right. That's what we'll do on the second half, right.
You know, is this leaving the planet? I'm just going to go all the way. Like,
yes, you're leaving the planets.
I'm just going to say life or death. Like, we're jumping to Pluto. What was that? Like, intuition versus sensing jumps too fast. And that's what the intuitives are doing. They are coming to conclusions way too fast without needing to stop and pause and prove.
And then you got your TIFE coin of culture is freaking me out and I got to go find my truth. And I got to logic my way through personal problems.
So fast.
By myself.
So fast.
Yeah. Like, what the TI hell is that?
Okay, now let's go back and actually cross-check all this shit.
Right.
Is she actually DI?
Let's play one more clip and take a look.
Let's do that.
And I just started turning inward. I went straight into the pain. I went into my inferno. And I went down and down and down until I found the thing that was the most painful thing to me. And that thought, it was the thought, I don't know what's true.
I don't know
because I was
what is
so
true.
split. And anybody who's been pulled different ways by different loved ones, different jobs, different national cultures or whatever, if you feel that lostness, that's the dark wood that Dante woke up in. I am so lost and I don't know why.
Intuitive.
And I didn't know what the answer would be, but I knew that the pathway was into my own suffering.
Observers.
And it worked. It took a while, but it worked.
The TI worked. Did you FI value? No, it worked. Yeah, there's your whole fucking code all in that one paragraph.
Yeah, right.
The observer feel. It's like you won't see it unless you really can actually feel it for yourself. Like everybody feels lost of the path. So everybody everybody has to cross these different bridges in life. And I think like when you're transitioning from your parents' house to college or college to real life, everybody's squeezing through the trolled little booth of the observer fears, you included.
Yeah, I definitely
the
do.
EJs and the IPs included. You're 22. You're like, fuck. What do I do with my life?
Yes.
Everybody has to go through that feeling of I am on the wrong fucking path and I'm gonna get so screwed 20 years down the road. Everybody has that.
Yeah.
Now, so no matter who you are, it's grabbing that and going, okay, that is what the observers are. That is their number one fear.
Fear all the time.
Because the double observers, you'll have that fear, then it'll get sorted down.
It's not even that it gets sorted down. It's just that I have more of a distraction when the person comes in the room, kind of thing.
Sorted down because that's
sorted down.
please align with my NI.
I mean that the problem is still like a lot of times feels just as pants on fire.
Yeah.
It's just there's a
larger
larger
one.
fear. There's a bigger fear.
Right.
That I know I have a hard time making it through. So I better lower the drama on this tech issue because I'm worried that the guy in the room is going to get mad.
Right. Because yes, totally. Because like what happens is if you're watching Martha and you're not a sleep last play fucking observer IJ,
you don't believe that.
You just don't believe it.
I know.
She's like, anyways, I'm freaking out because I lost my path and that's what my whole life is about. You're like, no, it's not. Because I got through that in 2 days.
Right.
Well, I think the entrance to the secret tomb is just up here on the left.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ah, shit.
What?
Oh, the path is blocked. We're gonna have to find another way around.
Huh?
Oh, path's blocked.
What do you mean?
Well, the path is blocked by a fallen tree, so I think we were meant to go right to the waterfall,
So
maybe.
what do you mean the path is blocked?
Oh, sorry. When I say that the path is blocked by a fallen tree, what I mean is that the path is blocked by a fallen tree, Rowan.
Where?
Here!
Sorry, are you talking about this tiny little log here?
The tree that's fallen and is blocking our path? Yeah, that's the one.
Sorry, are you serious? How is that blocking our path?
Am I serious? Are you serious? How on earth do you expect us to move through this, Rowan?
I don't know, Ben. Maybe by walking over it?
Yeah. We'll just step over a fallen tree because that's a thing everyone can do. No, wait, hang on. I've got a way better idea, Rowan. Why don't we just levitate through the top of the canopy and fly over the forest?
I don't know why you're being such a dick about this, Ben. It's literally a tiny little log on our path. At worst, it's a mild inconvenience.
Rowan, come on. Everyone knows that it's physically impossible to walk down a path that's blocked by a fallen tree. How are you not getting this, mate?
Oh my God, Ben, you're an actual idiot. You're an idiot. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll prove it to you right now. I'll prove it to you.
Okay.
It's a little log, and I'm going to take a little step over it, Ben.
Great.
Here we go.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you see? No, seriously, Rowan, you can't do it. And honestly, you should be careful.
Just shut up. Shut up.
Okay, Rowan, seriously? You're messing around with forces that you don't understand. Just leave it. Whoa.
Haha, I win.
Okay. Rowan, be careful. Whoa.
Whoa.